Guys, today we're reading lesson number 10 in the immigration unit, and it is titled Immigration and Citizenship. When we're reading today, there are only 3 vocab words we really need to be paying attention for. The first word is guaranteed. That means promise that something will be done or that a person will receive something or made certain. The second word is jury. A jury is a group of people chosen from the public to listen to facts during a trial or a court case in order to decide whether or not a person is guilty or not guilty. And the last vocab word is refugees. Refugees are people who flee from their home country to a foreign country for safety. So again, our vocab words for this lesson are guaranteed, jury, and refugees. Make sure you guys are listening very, very carefully while I'm reading the story to hear those words. Today, I want you guys to listen carefully to hear about some of the rights and responsibilities that we have as United States citizens. In the first picture, we have a group of Native Americans right over here. We have a European explorer, and we have pilgrims. For a long time now, you have been learning about the history of the United States. You heard about the Native Americans who were living here long before the Europeans arrived. You learned about those Europeans who explored North and South America, and you also learned about the pilgrims who left Europe on the Mayflower because they wanted to practice their religion freely. Some of you might think that some of these fellows look a little bit familiar, and you're right. Over on the left-hand side, we have Mr. George Washington. We have Mr. Jefferson in the middle. And over on the right-hand side, James Madison. We just learned about him. He was the father of the Constitution. Then you learned how much later George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison and other leaders started a new nation called the United States of America, and about how difficult it was to create a new type of government for this new nation or country. You learned about Thomas Jefferson's great Declaration of Independence and James Madison's brilliant Constitution and Bill of Rights. These founding fathers believed they were doing the right thing for the new nation, and their hard work continues to serve our country today. You also learned about immigrants, people who leave their home country to settle in a new, different country. Even today, immigrants are still coming to the United States. Why are immigrants coming to the United States? Well, if you remember, people have immigrated to the United States because of certain push or pull factors. Dangers in their home countries, not enough jobs, and not being able to practice their religion or speak freely are some of the factors that may have pushed people to leave their homeland. On the other hand, jobs, freedoms, land, given to American citizens in the Bill of Rights are some of the factors that have pulled people to America, the land of opportunity. These are some reasons why immigrants want to come to the United States and become United States citizens. Remember, a citizen is someone who has rights given to them by a country's government and responsibilities that go along with those rights. Let's find out what it means a little bit more to be a citizen. He should look awfully familiar. We just saw him in the 2 pictures ago. This is Mr. James Madison. James Madison did so much to create the Constitution that he's considered the father of the Constitution. Later, James Madison and other leaders added some more laws to the Constitution. Doing this is called amending or changing the Constitution. So the parts they added were called amendments. Madison and other founding fathers wrote a list of amendments to the U.S. Constitution, and they became called the Bill of Rights. And later on, other leaders added more amendments protecting more rights for United States citizens. This is a picture of the Bill of Rights. Notice the writing is a lot more difficult to read. Old English. This is how they wrote many, many, many hundreds of years ago. The Bill of Rights is a list of rights guaranteed or promised to citizens of the United States. Rights are freedoms that the government cannot and should not take away from its citizens. A Bill of Rights was a new idea in the world when it was created. In most countries many years ago, and even in some countries still today, Kings, queens, or generals ran the government any way that they liked. Everyone living in that country is expected to do what the ruler says, or they could be arrested or thrown in jail, or even forced or kicked out of their country. Someone who was arrested might not get the chance to tell their story to a judge in order to get out of jail. Or if they did, the judge might work for the king, and it might not be a fair trial. In the United States, however, laws are supposed to protect citizens from these problems. For example, no one is supposed to arrest another person just because he doesn't like that person or that person's ideas. If someone is arrested for a crime or doing something that is against the laws of the country, the government cannot just keep him or her in jail as long as they want. That person has the right to tell his or her side of the story to a judge and or a jury. Remember, a jury is a group of people who listen to all the facts of an argument before deciding whether or not you're guilty or not guilty. Anyone that comes before a judge and or a jury is considered innocent, and they must be proven guilty before they can be sent back to jail. This is another one of American rights. You notice the writing on her shirt, it says vote. Another very important right or a duty of the citizens of the United States is the right to vote. When you turn 18 years of old, you can fill out a form so that you can vote. The person in this picture is exercising their right to vote. Voting booths are often given as a right of privacy. Adult U.S. citizens decide who will be their president, who will represent them in the Senate and the House of Representatives, or who will be their local mayor. United States citizens vote for the people they want to do these jobs, and whoever receives the most votes gets to serve in that job. Any adult citizen can run for most elected positions. The United States Constitution says that people who were not born in the United States cannot run for presidency. If you are a U.S. citizen and you were born in the United States, when you grow up, you might decide to run for a government office. That means you will let other people know you want a job in the government, and you hope citizens or people will vote to have you represent them in the government. As an adult citizen, even if you don't run for an office, you will get to vote for your representatives in the government offices. Voting is just one of your rights, and it's a duty as a United States citizen. So I want you to think, has any of your family members ever gone to vote? If not, encourage them to vote. It's one of their rights. These are protesters holding a sign symbolizing their freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, religion, and the right to vote, and the right to a fair and fast trial are just some of the rights listed in the Bill of Rights. But citizens also have responsibilities. Remember, those are duties that you have or things someone else trusts you to do. For example, even though you have freedom of speech, you still have a responsibility to not say things that might put people in danger or say things that might hurt others. Notice how rights and responsibilities go together. So yes, in America, we have the right to speak our mind. If we don't agree with someone or somebody else's ideas, we have the right to say, we don't agree with that. We don't like that idea. We think that this should happen. But along with those rights as citizens, we have a responsibility to make sure that we're expressing our own opinion peacefully without threatening anyone. So if you say, I really, really, really like chocolate ice cream. If I don't like chocolate ice cream, I can tell you, ew, I don't really care for chocolate ice cream. I prefer mint chocolate chip. I have the freedom to say that without, being punished for speaking my mind, but I'm going to make sure that I do so in a respectful way. We have the responsibility to follow the laws of our country. We also have the responsibility to pay taxes, the money that we're required by law to give to our government that pays for things for all citizens to enjoy. The person in the picture is filling out a tax form to figure out how much money he owes to the government. Our taxes that we pay for things like public schools where you can learn, public parks where you can play, public libraries where you can check out your favorite books, the roads and the sidewalks that get you from place to place. Can you name something else that you enjoy that's created from using money from taxes? When the United States began, few countries offered so many rights to their citizens. When the United States began, few countries offered so many rights to their citizens. After the people of the United States decided to make these rights a part of their country's laws, citizens of many other countries decided that they wanted the same rights and freedoms. Citizens around the world insisted on new laws to protect their rights. In many countries, the laws changed. However, this didn't happen everywhere. Even today, people in many nations do not enjoy the same rights that citizens enjoy here in the United States. In such places, people think, I want to leave my country and go to the United States. There, I will be free to decide what I want to do or say. I will not have to be afraid of the government leaders who punish me just for disagreeing with them. Think about it. Is that a push or a pull factor? It could be either. If someone says, I want to leave my country to go to the United States to be free to decide what I want to do or say, that's definitely a pull factor. Having a constitution and having those protections as citizens in the United States, it's pulling other people to want to come here. But if you have a government that, might throw you in jail for speaking your mind, that would be a push factor. You want to get out of that situation and get to somewhere where you're protected. Sometimes people living in countries with threatening governments have to leave their old country because they fear their government, or they've gotten into troubles with leaders there. If there's a war, people have to leave and move to other countries because it's no longer safe. The United States government and other governments around the world often let such people, called refugees, come to their country for safety. The United States allows only a certain number of refugees each year. So in less serious cases, refugees often have to wait their turn to come to the United States. One reason for this is to make sure that there are enough jobs for newcomers so that they can earn money and they need to support themselves and provide necessities such as food, clothing, and a place to stay. So in very, very serious cases of where a government or a war is going on and a government's threatening to hurt you or your family in a different country, if you flee or run to America, United States can take you in as a refugee because you're trying to escape some bad things going on in your home country. James Madison and his fellow leaders, whose ancestors were immigrants to America, wrote laws or rules that all United States citizens must follow. Today's citizens can vote to change those laws to make them better or to make new laws. Still, all United States laws must go along with the principles in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. These two documents were intended to guarantee the rights of all citizens, whether naturalized or born in the United States, both now and in the future.